this actually reduces one way or the other the GDP of the country, because some persons were self-surviving with Twitter. I know social media, the platform is actually big and relevant, as most people, or as opposed to what most people would say. But as for me, most persons were using this platform wisely, and then one thing led to another. There was a ban placed on it, and we are glad that the good news. No, this news has actually been dragging over time. We get to see it on newspaper that Twitter ban here. Now this is actually a good news. This is actually a good news. Okay.
To smile about it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, another headline here is Okorocha loses bid to stop takeover of properties. Okay, and this news actually came up yesterday with all the issues of his properties, and then I guess his properties were to be held, and there was a directive given to the FCC not to carry that out. Okay, we had that news yesterday. That's the more reason why you should actually follow Dawn on VOS TV, so you could get information, and then follow VOS TV in total, so you could get the latest information. Yes. Okay, another headline here is 400 youth on the go training in Enugu. 400 on the go training in Enugu. I mean, you know, today is International Youth Day, and now we are seeing something from the youth, and now they are undergoing training in Enugu. Now, I'm trying to wrap my head around this. This training, is this just for training purpose, or is there something added to it?
I think the Enugu state government is in partnership with a particular automobile company.
Oh, that's lovely.
Enugu, so they want to train at least 400 youths in the automobile industry.
Okay.
So this definitely is going to form the basis of our conversation on the next segment, where we get to talk about unemployment. So I think this is a welcome development.
Yes, of course it is.
So many youths in Nigeria out there just basically doing nothing. So this is definitely a way forward. And
that news, that headlines, actually, you can actually read that more on page 27 of the Nation newspaper. Okay, we have another one here. Abe plotting to subvert Rivers APC party alleges. Okay, at the right-hand side of the newspaper, I have Shell to pay Ogoni 45.9 billion 11 years after judgment. Like you said, you have said this over and over again. We're always talking in billions in this country.
Yes,
okay. The payment compensation for oil spills, and it's actually in billions this time. We are hearing billions all the time, and I don't know where we are.
But I think on this aspect, I think it's a good thing, because you know how the Niger Deltans are always complaining of being
their land being not they can't actually access their land because of what is being used for by the federal government,
and yet they have bad roads, they have poor education, they have. So I think this is actually a step forward also.
But you would agree with me that they contribute to a major part of the revenue in this nation.
Of course.
So it's really bad when you contribute a huge aspect of the revenue for this nation. Then when you actually submit that revenue to the federal level, a little gets back to you as a result of allocation, or let me just call it allocation quota, and then you are not happy. Your people are suffering. They can't use their land because actually it's used for to generate crude oil, which is actually processed into different, but yet the nation is still lagging behind despite our richness in crude oil, and lands are suffering, people are suffering. So this is a welcome development.
Definitely.
Yeah, this is good. The major header here is Oshomole, leave me out of APC leadership debate, and under that, World Congress's party gets petition from 14 states. Oshomole here actually is saying that he has no plans. Now, I was really shocked because from the vibrant politician, and now he's saying he has no plans from coming back.
As APC chairman.
APC chairman. And now this is unlike the Oshomole that we know. Normally, if you get a news like this, you should know, okay, maybe he has plans to do so. But he's saying those are rumors, and he has no plans to come back and take the APC chairmanship, that he's happy and he's loyal to the leadership of Governor Mai Mala Buni. who is currently the APC chairman. Okay, this is at least we don't get to hear about APC crisis anytime soon. This is actually great. Okay, now the last headline on the Nation newspaper is toll returns on 5,000 50-kilometer dual carriage highways. Yes. It's actually, you have it there too?
Yes, of course. It's also on Nigerian Tribune.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Newspaper. So yes, the major headline that we have today on the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, it says 18 years after FG OK's return of toll gates. And there are riders to that. And the first one says cars to pay 200 naira, SUVs to pay 300 naira, private buses to pay 300 naira, commercial buses to pay 150 naira, luxury buses, trucks to pay 500 naira, tricycles, motorcycles exempted, tolling to start when roads are motorable, Fashola says.
Don't you think that this money is actually quite too much?
Well, I think the purpose for gathering the funds is for the development of roads and infrastructure.
But these people pay taxes.
Yeah, basically. But and then again, even in the should I say developed countries, so to speak, they pay taxes. They pay, when you hear somebody, let's just say for example somebody that is based in the US, when you have them narrate the bills that they have to pay.
Okay.
But they don't really complain because they actually see the results.
That was where I was going.
And so I'm not even about the bill. I'm not even complaining that maybe the bills might be too much or the amount they are supposed to pay might be too much. I'm just saying if we have to pay 300 naira daily.
Because it's daily, yes.
Let's at least get the results. I'm all about the results.
Of course.
Let's
and that's going to be difficult to believe. Sorry to say, it's going to be difficult to believe because we're actually in this country and we pay taxes and we pay other little, we pay VAT, we actually contribute to this nation, monetary wise and financial wise, but we are not seeing the dividends of what we are paying. Yes. We pay taxes.
I think that's where the frustration comes in.
Exactly.
It's not necessarily about how much you're paying. It's the fact that you're not seeing results. So it's like you're putting your money somewhere and at the end of the day you're not seeing the results.
It's actually painful when you now hear someone say the federal government cannot always handle things for you. Let's do this by ourselves. Then they should leave the taxes for us so that we can actually do this for ourselves. But I hope that they actually focus on the reason why they are collecting these charges, because persons are trying to survive right now in this nation and we don't need this kind of charges. 300 naira, 500 naira can actually go a long way for some families.
Motorcycles are exempted from paying these bills.
They know why they exempted them. But I feel like the 500 naira that I saw there for luxury buses, trucks is actually too much for me.
These buses usually carry some some merchandise that could warrant them charging that kind of fare for them.
I still feel like it's too much.
Let's check out some other stories because on time we're just quickly going to browse through. The first story on the right side, just above the masthead, says FG to unbind Twitter soon, which you read earlier. And the next one says court orders Shell to pay Ogoni people 45.9 billion naira in 21 days. And at the left-hand side of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper, just before the picture of the day, it says all disengaged Kaduna workers should be paid appropriate benefits. FG committee report says. And the WHO announces 3 new drugs for COVID-19 clinical trials. And the last headline for today says Hush Puppy, 31 Northern lawyers volunteer to defend Kyari.
31 volunteer
lawyers
to defend.
Yes, and you can find the story on page 4 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. All the stories and many more are some of the stories that made it to the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. You can get a copy of the Tribune newspaper from a local vendor or just check online to read the stories and be up to date with what is happening in the country. I think this is how we wrap up the newspaper review segment for this morning. But the conversation has not ended. Done on VOS TV continues after this quick timeout. Do not go anywhere.